Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Munaza and I am a clinical psychologist and a community psychologist. But I want to speak a little bit on the clinical side. As a clinical psychologist, I do therapy. I have treated individuals with depression. I've also treated individuals with grief, but I never understood fully what was truly helpful and not helpful until I had to learn the hard way by experiencing my own, I don't want to say loss, and I'm going to explain why, but by experiencing my own grieving, by experiencing the passing of my mother. When it comes to grief, you can be depressed and not necessarily grieving, and you can be grieving and not necessarily depressed. I want to talk about what's helpful and what's not. Starting with what's not. When we say my condolences, that is just the automatic knee-jerk reaction when someone has been grieving. When someone says, oh, my parent died or my dog died or anything of that nature, we say, oh, my condolences. Okay, cool, you say it, but it doesn't really give us anything. It doesn't really give us energy. That we just have to say, oh, that's okay, or that thank you. And we don't mean those words back. We don't mean that's okay, because it's not. We don't mean thank you. We just, we're just trying to say something back for you saying something to us. Like, there's a weird, meaningless exchange that's super common. And I want us to push away from those meaningless exchanges to something that is meaningful, to something that is helpful. So my condolences, let's push that aside. I'm sorry for your loss. Saying I'm sorry for your loss is, one, it's affirming that you lost something that can't be given back, right? You lost a life, you lost a loved one. I want us, the grieving people and the people who are trying to do something for them, to steer away from saying you lost something or someone. Because that person is an energy form. That person is a life. That person does not just go away. Their spirit remains. Their spirit is still here. Energy cannot be destroyed or created, right? And so we don't want to, because when you say you lost something, that does hurt. You sink down a little lower, like, yes, I lost something. I should be hurt about that. But instead, acknowledging that that person passed on, that person transcended, that's something to celebrate in a level, right? Depending on what your spiritual beliefs are. They went on to another level. They don't have to experience this physical world and the pains and the capitalism and all the crap that goes along with it. So when someone passes, we want to be able to honor them as our newly formed ancestor, honor them as our new angel that gets to watch over us and guide us. We want to feel that level of love and not a level of loss. And so rather than saying, I'm sorry for your loss, I want to talk about other things that we can say and do instead. If you want to apologize for anything, apologizing doesn't really do anything for us because you didn't do it. As long as you didn't kill the person or whatever, you didn't do anything. So why are you apologizing? And again, with apologizing and saying you lost something just reaffirms that you should be sad. And we don't want to reaffirm sadness or reinforce the sadness necessarily. You can validate that they may be feeling sad, but we don't need to put that on them. So if you're noticing that that person is hurting, maybe they're crying in front of you at that point, you can say, I'm sorry for the hurt you're experiencing. You can apologize in that sense for that if you have to apologize for anything. But rather than any of those things, my condolences, I'm sorry for your loss, any apologies, why not offer them something? You can offer them your ear, right? You can just listen to them. If they're in the spirit of talking about it, you can ask them directly, do you want to talk about it? You can simply state, I'm here for you. You can also offer something more tangible, which I love more tangible offers of support. Tangible offers of support include, food. People gotta eat, right? And when you're hungry, when you're grieving, you can be hungry and not really feel the hunger, not really have much of an appetite, similar to some depressive symptoms, though again, not the same. You may not think about food, you may not feel like cooking, that takes energy. And right now your energy is focused on grieving. So offer your grieving friend or loved one a meal. You can take them out to eat, spend some quality time with them. You can give them a gift card if you're not that close, but you still want to do something for them. You can cash app them, you can Venmo them, you can do all the things money, food-wise. Those are always great options, right? You can also offer them your labor. When there are students that are grieving, when there are coworkers that are grieving, again, it takes energy to work, and we're trying to grieve, and we may not have the financial privilege to just take off work or to just take off school for an indefinite amount of time. So offering some level of labor to make their lives easier, right? So that could be, hey, I know that there's an assignment coming up. Do you need any support with that? Or, hey, I know that, if you're working with somebody, I know that there's this deadline. Can I take that task off your hands, and can I do that for you? Or offering, like, hey, I know that you want to take off time from work, but it even takes time and energy to craft that email to ask for that time off, to admit that something happened to you and you need that help or that accommodation. As the friend or the coworker, you can offer to write that email as a draft, in case they want to see it. If they don't care, what you write, then get their permission, and then you can press submit. The point being, offering that labor, offering financial support, or offering food support, all of those things, those can be tangible means of support rather than just saying, how can I help you? How can I support you? I'm grieving. I don't have time to brainstorm for you how you can help me, right? And so those are just a few things that we can do to get past those meaningless common exchanges, those traditional exchanges that's been so ingrained in our culture that really don't do anything for anybody. And again, I learned the hard way. Every time someone said my condolences, I gagged a little on the inside, because I got that in hundreds of text messages and phone calls, coworkers in the hallway, people who didn't even know me, my condolences just all around. And I did not know what it meant. It didn't mean anything to me. It didn't help me. I was still hurting. I still had to show up to work every single day and hope that nobody talked to me. I actually did not want anyone to say words to me. But people they didn't have the vocabulary and the know-how of offering anything that was meaningful. It took me time away from everyone and everything to just write down, like, what is actually helpful for me? And when a few people offered some food and some money and some flowers, potted flowers, I do prefer potted because I don't want to see anything else die at this stage, right? Offering those sort of nice things, candles, and just things that made life easier, added some comfort, added a little bit of joy. So let's sum this all up and break it down, right? My condolences, I'm sorry for your loss. Push that aside. How can I help you, right? How can I support you? Those are better, but not the best. We want best, right? What do you need? That's better. That's getting a little bit more specific. Are you hungry? Even better, because that's a simple yes or no answer. Can I get X, Y, and Z for you? This is when you're offering something tangible. So rather than saying, how can I support you? You think of some options that are within your capacity to give, within your energy levels, because everyone has their own thing going on. Think of what you can offer. Have at least 3 items in your back of your mind, in your pocket. You can start with the open-ended, what do you need? But if you know your capacity is limited, just go ahead and ask, can I offer you X, Y, and Z? That's within my capacity, right? Or you can say, would you mind if I did X, Y, and Z for you? So again, you do want their permission, but you want something tangible you can offer them. So what are those tangible things, again, that are helpful? Food, groceries, gift cards, chores, especially if you live with a person or if you don't live with them. Offer to come by and do their dishes, take out their trash, fold some clothes and do laundry with them. Offering Cash App, Venmo, all the good stuff. You can also just offer your quality time. Because again, financial stuff, those are privileges. You can also just offer your time. Not everyone wants to talk. You can offer to sit there in silence, watch one of their favorite TV shows with them. You can offer to take them out. Let's go to a comedy show. Let's go to a concert. Let's go somewhere where we don't have to talk, but you can still feel the energy and the liveliness of other things around you, if that's what is within their interests and their values, right? And you can also offer to just give a phone call every now and again, right? Not everyone's going to say, yes, I want you to do this. Yes, I need help. But you can offer, like, hey, can I call you tomorrow? Hey, can I check in every now and again just to make sure that, you're you're grieving, but you're getting through. You know, can I do this for you? Ask. Text messages, if that's what you can do and that's your capacity, then okay. If you can at least send a voice note, let them hear your tone, your warmth, your care, that means more. If you can phone call, that means more. If you can go see them, that means more. But again, it depends on your capacity and the other person's personal wishes. So I think that's all that I have. If you have other ideas, please put them in the comments, because we have to support our grieving friends, our grieving loved ones, our grieving co-workers. And I'm gonna create another video on what jobs and leaders and institutions can do to better help their grieving members and participants, because there are some culture shifts that definitely need to happen. But again, I love to hear the ideas. Let's share, let's heal, let's get through this together.